welcome back to ScaleSpeedworks. My name's Mike. Today, I'm going to be assembling the AMT Star Wars speeder bike. I already got one assembled here. It's in primer, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out. It is a little bit tricky, so we're going to go over that right now. Let's go over some of the tools we're going to need. Definitely a hobby knife. Definitely some sprue cutters. We're going to be using some of this Testors plastic cement. I do like this. It's a little bit thicker. It takes a little bit longer to set up than, say, the Tamiya Extra Thin, but we're definitely going to be using this as well. You're also going to want some of these in various sizes, and I'll show you why in just a little bit. All right, let's set that aside. Let's open this up. See where we start off. So as you can see, a lot of these are two halves and they get glued together. The directions also aren't super clear. So let's get started and let's start assembling our halves so we can put all that into here. All right, here we go. The other tools we're going to need is a little file. Experience last time that these did not fit so well. This looks a little bit better. Make sure when you glue these together you have that lined up. would say do what you can now to make sure that these are square. Not real happy with how these sit, but I think they're going to be okay. As you can tell, this one sits just a hair higher than this one here. Pushing down on these to get these lined up as best as I can. Really don't want to clamp that, but you're going to have a seam there no matter what. So that does need to be cleaned up and fixed. Let's put this piece in, and hopefully that squares it up a little bit. Unfortunately, this piece isn't going to do much because it's actually just a little bit small for that. Just a hair too small. Make these sides pinch in just a little bit. You can see I got all kinds of excess glue, so let's clean that up. I always keep an old t-shirt as a rag. Looks pretty good. And that's obviously just going to be sanded down a little bit later. So let's make sure we're in good shape there. We are. The fit and finish on these parts is not great. Is it workable? Yeah, absolutely it's workable. So this is actually where the speeder bike sits on the stand. So as you can see even in there, that hole is way too big for that part. And I'm being very generous with the extra thing. Looks halfway decent. What I'm going to do on here is I'm going to put glue on the underside, and that's going to make that stick just fine. Perfect. Yeah, again, you can see the gap here and the gap there. You know what? Before it gets too late, let's fix that. I'm not happy with that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut these off. I'm going to come back with the extra thin. Let's get it onto here real good. Much better. Now it's in line flush with the bottom. Pretty happy with that. So let's come back to these. These should be nice and dry now. Clamps, let's move those out of the way. A little bit of a seam. Let's clean this seam up. And since I did put extra thin in here and I squeezed it together really tight, I did get a little bit of that plastic push out, and that's all it takes to clean that up. Now this, I did find to be one of the trickiest parts of the build. On this part, luckily the seam line here is okay. The seam line here does need some cleanup. I know we need that part. We're going to wait though. AMT actually did a decent job hiding the seam right here. I'm going to use this for reference. So this piece keys into here. little bit more to my right side. And there's less room over here than there is over here. That would make a difference, and I'll show you why. Same thing here. Less room over here, more room over here. Piece is either going to sit too far this way or too far this way because it's offset here. Because you have more room on this side than you do on this side. Not much you can do unless you want to take a little bit off, which we might. And I think we're actually going to do that. Plastic surgery. Much better. So we're going to do what we can to get that squared up. Perfect. I think that makes all the difference. Much better. Very happy with that. Let's do the same thing to this one.